Hey YouTube, welcome to probably one of the last. Well, I guess there'll be a few more. Zendikar Rising Twitch replays. I mean, we're taking Felidar Retreat, but this pack's nuts. Royal Eruption, Cleric, Rockslide, Deadly Alliance, Felidar. Like, Chilling Trap, Lynx, are the only cards that I would be upset taking earlier than 8th pick. And the majority of the pack I would be very happy with, like, pick 1 through 4. Wow. That pack's nuts. Like to watch Saffron, Olive, and Crim because they're usually playing janky decks. Yeah, I think janky decks are interesting. Or could be interesting. I don't like constructed, so it's not going to do anything. The nice thing here is we're not passing much white, whereas people might fight over red a bit. I guess black is split into a couple different things here. But yeah, this is an easy Felidar Retreat. Easy Felidar Retreat followed up by a Rogue. I guess we could play. I guess you should. Green white is where you kind of want to be for Felidar Retreat, and I guess if we go Felidar Retreat into Yasharn, it's not the worst. Just let people fight over black. Yeah, I don't hate that. You think I underestimate how interesting constructed play lines can be if the meta's good? I think I underestimate how much some people can enjoy that. For me, it just looks like rote memorization. It looks like you just memorize what you do against the decks, and then you do the thing. And yeah, maybe sometimes you forget to do the thing. But for me, it's so boring. And it's because there's... in constructed with 2 meta decks, there's generally always a correct decision, I think. So we've got a Baloth, better than the Sellsword. I don't want an Ox even in this deck. There's nothing getting me off of this plan. So yeah, that's an easy Baloth. It does feel like homework. Yeah, it's like you play over and over and over until you memorize, like, this deck played that card. I have these cards in my hand. I play this card. And, You think there's way more choices in constructed? No, I disagree. In limited, your opponent could have literally any card in the set. They probably have one in their 2 colors, but they could have a third one. And you never know what you're up against. And I think that leads to so many more choices and so much more thinking about what you should be doing. Whereas in constructed, as long as it's 2 meta decks against each other, I think you are supposed to just jam that matchup until you learn exactly what you do in exactly every situation. So yeah, there's a Rabid Bite over Felidar. The Rabid Bite's the obvious pick here. Felidar, it'd be cool if it comes back. It may not. But I with Felidar Retreat, I think we're just jumping into this plan. I think the power level of limited should be what standard is. Wati knows how to balance the limited format. It seems like they sometimes do. And it seems like they sometimes didn't bother to even try to balance a limited format. So I'm almost wondering if they're like accidentally making good formats. What's probably the case is there's probably some very good people at it and some less good people at it. And every single limited format's a different team of people. Like, the people who are working on Strixhaven right now are not working on Forgotten Realms. That's 2 different teams. And maybe one of those teams just has less good people. So we got a Blightblade. There's a Brute, but Blightblade's better. Not getting into blue for that stuff. Don't want an Axe. Don't want a Sentinel. But yeah, I think the only interesting thing that happens in constructed, in like a meta constructed thing, is trying to guess what they might have in their hand. But in limited, you're doing that across like 50, 60, 70 cards they could have in their hand. Whereas in standard, you're doing it over like 12 cards that they could have in their hand. So we'll take this turn, Timber Ascetic. Although I guess we need to try to cut some white a little bit here. And I do like a Sellsword. Yeah, let's get a Sellsword in. Let's try to lower this curve a little bit. Root Grazer. There we go. Green-white's not good, but if we can get every single card for it, maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work out. Yeah, like I find Constructed to be Candyland. I find it to be very Candyland. I don't want any of these cards. I might take the Adept for signaling, but I'm not going to play it, I don't think. I don't want an Adventurer Waits. I don't want a Spare Supplies. We're not doing any of that. Reclaim versus Kazandu. I guess Kazandu's slightly better here. But I've been underimpressed by it. There's better ways of returning your lands. It's a lot of mana for what it is, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll take a Brute. That's a really late Subtle Strike. It's very unlikely we have to play this Brute. Second Sellsword, don't mind if I do. Adept is okay if you're landfall heavy. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. There's a chance it could make it in. We're not playing any of this. Let's take a Seafloor Stalker. Another Brute. And a Strength of Solidarity, also bad. Fledgling, heck yeah. In the deck you go. We don't get anything back that we want. I don't really want that Ox. I don't want the Might. I don't want the Kite Sail. But we get a Fledgling. We get a Fledgling. You just have that info game on Constructed as well. Yeah, kind of. But again, I'm playing the same deck over and over and over against the same decks over and over and over. And that is just powerfully uninteresting to me. Take that Fearless Fledgling. So we've got the Felidar. Oh, sorry, there's another Root Grazer here. Now, there is a cute chance of this Root Grazer wheeling, but I don't know if we should risk that. I would put it at an 80% chance that this Root Grazer is going to wheel. But I'm not going to risk it. Not going to risk it. This is totally a Kite deck. I mean, Kite on Stomper is pretty decent. And Baloth. And a Giant Felidar. Battle almost ready. Get your units in. Interesting. Very interesting. Not the deck you would normally think of Hornbeetle being in, but if we can get those Felidars, if we can get some Scythe Cats, that Hornbeetle's going to do some work. Plus, there's nothing here that I'm terribly missing. We can take a Blight Blade. But yeah, let's take the Hornbeetle and see if we can pull it off in green-white landfall. With 3 Root Grazers, you even playing Gerboas. Fair. Am I sure Selesnya is playing? I think so. What would you take here? The feed? From your experience, you aren't allowed to draft green-white. We'll show you. We'll show you. Oh, I hate Cragflate Baloth. But I mean, if I just want to steal some wins, I could just steal some wins. I also would like the Raptor and the Colony. But I could just try to steal some wins. Also 20 gems. I don't think it's worth it. I think I want like the colony because it gets counters on it for the beetle, or the raptor just to bounce lands. Let's take the raptor. If we had ramp, maybe I would have gone for it. Easy Bella get recovery here. Easy clean the ambush here. We need removal. I also desperately want both of these cards. Can we get away with not having much removal and just be like, hey, my creatures are constantly getting more and more gigantic? I think we can. I think we can get away with that. And I think I want the first Scythe Cat over the first Felidar. Trample is just a big thing. Follow that up with another Baloth. Scale the Heights is just way too easy to get blown out with. Yeah. Although I do like having Cell Swords down early into a Felidar retreat, but I think Beef is better. Let's take the Beef. I might play a Dauntless Survivor in this deck. Well, it's just for the Horn Beetle. It lowers the curve quite a bit. But a third Baloth is fine. I don't want the Angel Heart Protector. This gives indestructible to anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's go third Baloth. We should be able to get a Survivor if we want to. I don't really want an Ox. We might actually play a Kite Sail here. I'm not sure we'll have room for it. Felidar back around. Perfect. Disenchant for the sideboard. Love it. Reclaim, sure. Kite Man? Yeah. I feel like people are often too down on MDFCs. I don't pick them as highly. I would never, ever cut them. But I don't pick them remotely as highly. Oh, man. I would love if that wheeled. I think this deck just became a nutty iridescent horn beetle deck if we were to get it. This deck looks great. All right, let's do that battle. Well, we have an easy, obvious pick here because this should go fairly quick. These birds, gonna get them. Are people actually saying they're unplayable? Too many people went the way of Ben Stark. Ben Stark says they're. I mean, anything Ben Stark literally ever says, literally 100% of the time, no hyperbole, should be toned down like 75%. He's probably correct in what he's saying if you tone it down 75%. Not saying he did or anyone. Still, it's something he might have said at some point. I could see him saying it, and you would tone it down 75%. I mean, if we want to do this Horn Beetle shenaniganery, this is our time. There is an Amaria's Call. That's probably the more correct pick. 6 gold to everybody. Hazmat Medic with the most kills. Atomic Squirrel with the most assists. A Silent Show with 50 gold. Atomic Squirrel with a healer. Let's get to that skin chest. I'm going to drop my unit. Pop your units in every 5 minutes, and we'll come back to that battle in a bit. Amaria's Call is correct. Maybe Rabid Bite's correct. I kind of just want to do Horn Beetle BS. And I'm going to do Horn Beetle BS, and you can't stop me. Third Root Grazer, eh? Third Root Grazer. Heck yeah. All right, we're not even bothering with the Kite Sail. We're just doing dumb BS. Finally, we get some removal. There we go. We'll take the Nahiri's Binding. I don't think we want the Stomper. I don't think. There's probably a better cut than the Stomper, the Brute. Broken Wings for the side. Don't mind if I do. This deck is dumb. I love it. And if we get that third Horn Beetle back around, it's going to be amazing. Oh, we can cut this far-sighted up too, maybe. I'm not going to play anything here. Let's take an Ox just in case I do. Never seen a 3 Root Grazer 2 Fledgling deck. Do I feel dirty yet? A little bit. Captain Marshmallow, thanks for that follow. Master Carter, thanks for the follow as well. I did not see that. Belaged, you can come over here. Which means theoretically I could play one more land. Or one more non-land. Arbor Mage when I have a bunch of beef? Or just a Florahedron. I think Arbor Mage. I think just Arbor Mage. Although technically Florahedron could fit into the deck without costing us a slot. We're not going to play anything here. We'll take a Zendikar. Now I kind of want that Florahedron to make sure that we get to these 5-drop Horn Beetles fast enough. Let's get rid of this Farsight Adept. We'll take a Resolute Strike. Yeah, we're still not going to play a Scale the Heights, so sideboard Smite. That's a late Shatterskull Minotaur. The Horn Beetles. Another Disenchant for the side. Yeah, if the Horn Beetle's like being activated regularly, it's super hard to beat. I think the trick is you need to make sure that you are activating it. Which, I mean, like, I would prefer that we had, like, I would prefer that one of these Balos was a Felidar. I honestly probably prefer this Tazim Raptor as a Scythe Cat. But I mean, yeah, if we do have a Horn Beetle out and a Felidar retreat, our opponent's going to have some problems. So we could just cut a land because of our MDFC, because I'll play this as a land if we need to, and if we don't, cool, we have a Belaged. All right. I like this deck. Let's give it a go. Never seen a Florahedron wheel once. I have a fair bit. Some people are pretty down on it. There's a lot of people who look at it and they're like, well, it's a tap land or it's a mana dork that I don't get to use until like turn 3. And it's like, oh, mana dork you don't get to use till turn 3 is fine. Mana dorks don't have to be Llanowar elves. They can be 2-drops. We're going to play first. Seems fine. Seems fine. Yeah, I don't know the last time I've done green-white. But we got a Felidar retreat into a Yasharn, into 3 Root Grazers, 2 Fledglings, and 3 Horn Beetles. Florahedron is one of the best MDFCs. Best non-rare? Oh, a lot of the rares are bad. It's probably in the top 5? Close. I figure we just bite that and come on and slam. Do I care about a 1/1? No, we let them hit us for 1. We bite whatever comes next, and then we start getting in for 3. I think it competes with most of the rares. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the rares, to be honest. No, my binding. Please take the Horn Beetle. I'll never be able to replace it. Ever. Ever. Florahedron right after Belaged. Over all the ones from all the other colors. Yeah, I could see that. They took the binding. Sure, that is fine. We get in for 3 as planned. Root Grazer. So they know we have the Rabid Bite, but they're going to have to play into it at some point. Shatterskull, Smashing, and Hagar are better. What's the blue rare one? Oh, Mimic? Yeah, I would put Hedron over that. We get land for turn. Yeah, I don't want to bite that. Let's just get in for 2, technically 1, and drop our Horn Beetle. Horn Beetle 1, down. Thanks for the distraction from the US Revolution. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, Mimic not copying your opponent's stuff is rough. They missed a couple of land drops too, eh? Yeah. Yeah, if your deck already has to be nutty, there's a slight problem. Hey, hey. Unfortunately, they know that we have this plan, but Rabbit Bite with Blight Blade up is nice. Smash in. Probably play Glass Pool as a land 50% of the time. Yeah, like if I have it in my hand, I'm not keeping it just in case I happen to get an amazing creature and then also want a second copy. And we will pass the turn. So I can technically play that Kazandu Stomper next turn, right? If I wanted to, or I could have played it this turn by tapping everything, returning a land, playing the land, tapping that. It doesn't seem worth it. In for 1, you got it. Yeah, it is a rogue out of somewhat surprising way. Now, are they mono black or are they stuck? All right, let's attack in with the things that are extremely replaceable. Taken 5. Sounds good. Horn Beetle number 2. ACOG. Rude. Rude. So they're not mono black. They are blue black. They're stuck. Do we have any counters? We have various ways of getting counters. We've got Felidar Retreat. We've got 2 Fledglings. We've got a Scythe Cat. We've got a Felidar. We're just not finding them. It's no big deal, but we're not finding them. So we'll drop that land. We'll come on and slam. Soul Shatter. I sack the highest. Sure. Bye, Horn Beetle. Take 1. Take 1. Stomper, pop back 2 lands, leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 5 next turn. We can play everything in our deck. Sounds good. And we can just hold them off for when we find things. I do like that we're really heavily, I mean, they're mana screwed. We're not doing that much. It's their deck doing it to them. But we are really locking them into not playing their good cards as long as we have Blight Blade Rabbit Bite up. Taking 1. Yeah, Draga Visionary is a good card. We didn't see any. Draga Visionary is a card that suddenly everybody is talking about as though it is the literal best card that has ever existed. Do I want to play one of these lands? No. With Root Grazer? No. All right. Let's come on in. Yeah, they used to wheel on the regular, and now I assume some streamer or podcaster said that it is one of the best cards in the entire format, and now they don't appear anywhere. I think we can honestly just start sending this Sellsword into. Into the Royal. Rude. Rude. So I guess we play a land off the Root Grazer, drop the Stomper. Boop. Jay Abbott, thanks for that 26-month resub. Expedition Skulker, no death touch. I like it. How? This is like they're 16 cards deep. They've got 4 lands. That hurts. Oh no, they both have death touch. I don't muchly care for that. Hey, Bella, get recovery. All right, so let's kill one of them off. One of you, go away. And let's come in for 8. And then I think we just Bella get back the Rabid Bite. Right? Seems good. Seems good. Tried your first traditional draft the other day after watching me. Prize structure felt so bad. Went 2-1, lost 500 gems. Whereas you have to go 3-0 not half the time. Demon's Disciple, that's not too bad. Goodbye. Light Blade, I guess. They are super dead, I believe. I think there's graphs that you can find where basically, let me just finish this match off here. Let's Rapid Bite that. And then smash. Basically, if you are below something like 56% win rate, you should be playing best of 1. Is that it? I think it's that. And then if you are above a 56%, you should be playing best of 3. The trick is you need to have enough money, like enough gems or enough ability to rebuy, that if you go 03, 03, 03, 03, it doesn't bankrupt you. If you don't have that much bankroll, that much money to set aside as okay, if I go 03 6 times in a row, because it'll happen someday, I can't survive, you should just stick to best of 1 anyways. But if you do have a significant bankroll, it will give you more gems over your life. But you will have streaks where you just lose a bunch of gems. But then you'll 3-0 twice, and that erases like a bunch of those losses. Yeah, and people are saying your win rate in best of 3 is quite a bit higher. It's interesting because people are like, best of 3 queues feel so soft. People are so bad in them. And it's like, no, it's because of matchmaking. People in best of 3 aren't necessarily bad. It's that you're not being forced to play against someone of your equal skill, which is not something that should exist in Magic as far as I'm concerned. I should be thinking about our sideboard. Do we need anything? No? We saw 1 flyer. We saw 1 artifact that we don't care about. Yeah, we can just go back in. But yeah, you've got to remember that as you rank up in best of 1, you are going to be forced to play against people of your equal rank, which will force you to a 50% win rate. You may not have a 50% win rate in bronze. You might have a 97% win rate. But at some point, you're going to hit platinum or diamond or mythic. And unless you're literally the best player in the world, you're going to have a 50% win rate. Yeah, this hand is kind of nutty. Somebody asked Ben Stark on stream months ago at this point, And I know I just talked about how Ben Starkey needed to tone down what he says, but this was numbers, and he's usually very accurate with his numbers. Oh, double Windrobber. So this was a rogue mill deck all along. I guess at least we didn't get crabbed. They asked him what his win rate was, and he said, in best of three, my win rate's like 60. I think he said 60. I want to think. I think he said 67. And then best of one, he was like 52 or something. Most people consider him to be basically the best limited Magic player ever. And he has a 52% win rate in best of one, which should tell you something. All right, so we get to drop a land on their turn, make Scythecat a 3/2, drop a land on our turn, play Horn Beetle, and then start getting kind of stupid. What gets me here? It's not Subtle Strike because they don't have 3 mana for it. Nothing gets me here. Was this an accidental attack with all? Did they think they could filter 1 mana? Also, I'm deeply curious how many lands this deck is playing. This is the second time they've been land screwed. Both structures are equally scammy. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Arena. Arena is designed to... Oh, okay, they protect it, sure. Yeah, Arena is designed to ultimately take your money. All right, so we race this long before they mill us out here. Oh, they did have the land. Okay. Yeah, let's put a basic land down. Counter up our kitty. Horn Beetle. Smash, put a land down, get a counter, get an insect. Seems decent. Into the Royal, the Horn Beetle. All right. I will not put that land down then. Well, no, it only nets me 1 extra mana. It's not worth it. Put the land down and get the extra damage. Eat him. Hey, Sean, how's it going? Got to the finals in the Chaos Draft. And then lost. In for 1, in for 1. We're going to get milled to 7. In for 2. Just finished work. Whew. Who was up against? I played... No, my Fledgling and my Binding. I played... High-Res Brian, and then Ranger Alpha, and then the Mist. So, I mean, we could Iridescent Horn Beetle, return a land, play a land. Our Scythecat is a 6 something, and we have a 1/1. Don't hate that. Smash for 6. Take them to 5, or they chump. I doubt they chump. Maybe they have to chump. Nope, they go to 5. And we get a bug. But this deck, we've got 3 Horn Beetles, 3 Root Grazers, 2 Fledglings, a Felidar Retreat. It's kind of unreasonable. Are they very specifically going to mill me to 8? But why? Just to turn that on and have blockers back, I suppose. I suppose. Ooh, Yasharn. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do one bit. So we get a forest, a plains. We can pop one of them down. We can root grazer the other one. Scythe Cat's going to threaten to be an 8/7. Yeah, just casual play sets of uncommons. They're going to draw a card. That's fine. They're looking for their ACOG. Still looking for their ACOG. I mean, the ACOG's not ultimately going to do it. Yasharn down. Get ourselves a forest and a plains. Drop a plains. That turns off the Windrobber, doesn't it? Turns on the Windrobber by getting the 8 in. But I mean, if they were just going to sack the other one, I'm not sure why they wouldn't have attacked with the other one. I guess they really wanted to block. Into the Royal the Cat. That's fair. That's fair. I'll play the cat. I will pop down a land. Counter on the cat. Get more bugs. No attacks, though. Next turn, though. Next turn attacks. Yasharn's second ability. Pay life or sacrifice. Oh, cool. Yeah, it would have. Look at that. Relevant non-flavor text. Okay. So we're gonna Horn Beetle counters. Play Felidar. No attacks this turn, but next turn, opponent, watch out. Them bugs, they're gonna get you. How's White Green Landfall doing? It's going kind of insane. But this is just match 1. We'll see how much further it can go. Like, we are going off next turn. Demon's Disciple, oh no, a bug. Oh no, a bug. Let's bounce a land back. Oop. Mooch, thanks for that 3-month resub. Let's get some counters. 4, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. They take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are dead, barring something that I'm not going to bother thinking about. So they're taking 3 from the trample there already. Looks like they might be counting. Still taking 14, friend. Taking 12. All right, take 12. Yeah, settle the wreckage just out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Somebody told me that I couldn't draft green-white. Yeah, green-white, I mean, we forced this. We pack 1, pick 1, a Felidar retreat, pack 1, pick 2, Yasharn. And I mean, we just forced ourselves into the lane. So as a result, it sort of ended up being open. The Horn Beetles wheeled around quite well, which, I mean, I guess it just makes sense that Horn Beetles can easily go into a green-white landfall deck. But typically you think of the Horn Beetle being a Golgari counter deck. But they're doing work. They're doing work. Basically Craterhoof. Basically Crater. Fine. We're on the draw. We'll find there's literally no discussion of mulliganing this. It's the old standard limited phrase. It's not good, but I'll keep it. It's good. It's not the best, but I'll keep it. And we'll find our lands. Mooch Liazo, thanks for that follow. Red, white. Oh no, we must go speedy like. Find me that third land, please. And preferably the fourth land as well. I don't want to go out like this. Ouch. Kitesail Cleric? Sure. If your plan's to do damage, I will stop you from doing damage. Land. Cool. I doubt we're arbor maging them for the win. Do we just want to get value going or 3 damage going? They are down to 3 cards. There's a chance they whiff, so let's get the 3 damage going. Land for turn, in for 1. Slight pause there, suggesting an instant speed effect. Please show me said instant speed effect. Pressure point. All right. So if they don't steal the win, we might not have too much of a problem against this deck. I don't hate Boros in the set. Oh, Sean. Sean hates Boros. Sean can hate whatever he wants. But interestingly, Boros does tend to be the thing that is what you do in Best of One, because Best of One, you just need to steal as many games as possible. Counters, please. And then people come into Best of 3 and they just force it. And it doesn't work. Except it works enough that people are typically like, a 2-1. Yeah, it worked. And it's like, well, it didn't actually work. All right, dropping this Horn Beetle next turn is going to be disgusting. Like, if they don't immediately kill this or this, they are in the most trouble they've ever been in their lives. Like, this is going to be unreasonable. Yeah. That was the correct choice. We've got a battle ready here. Let's get that going. Yeah, speaking of stealing games. Like if they had given us another turn, that would have been 4 counters and 4 bugs being made. And we have 3 of those Horn Beetles. Taking down the houses. We got the rare retro monsters coming in. What is this? Retro artillery cannon. Powerful AoE boom. What's this? Pet shop? Yeah, the retro graphics are cool. Speaking of retro graphics, I play a Switch on the treadmill usually when I'm not like running on the treadmill, but doing like speedy walking. And I was bored, and so I played Super Punch-Out from the SNES. Open that chest, 8 gold to everybody, 200 gold to Raven Knife, Desert DBA with a Flying Rogue, Atomic Squirrel with the most kills, Kayak with the most assists. Let's move on to a gold chest battle. And we'll get back to that game post-sideboard. Pop your units in every 5 minutes. We'll get back to that battle in a bit. We don't have a sideboard here, really. Like against red-white, I want to lower my curve, which we don't really have a way of doing. I could take out Baloth for a brute. I don't hate that. Like, we need to make sure that we don't die by turn 4 or 5. We only saw a 1/1 flyer. Yeah, we should be fine. World class of Super Punch Out. I played so much Super Punch Out as a kid. Did I play any Gore while it was back out? What was Gore? I don't know Gore. Gor. Gor. Do not know what that is. Oh, Guilds of Ravnica. No, it was Best of One, and I do not touch Best of One. I learned long ago that Best of One is a way for me to think that Magic is the literal worst game ever made, and that I should never play it ever again in my life. And I generally prefer not thinking about that way about Magic. But Best of One makes me think that way about Magic. Never played it that you remember? Played it on the original NES? The original NES one was fun too. But the Super Nintendo one, they streamlined and just they made it real good. They made it real good. Do I think going from best of one to best of three is very difficult for a new player? Yes, but almost definitely not because of the reason they would think. Best of one gives you a lot of very bad habits. Oh, they have a good spell. Look at that. Ultimately, I don't think we're super going to care about that. But we got to go zoomy. We got to go zoomy here. So it's got the hand smoother, so you probably play a little bit less lands than you should. You steal games a lot more often, where just like variance is just like this person wins this game, this person wins this game. Um, yeah, like, and a lot of people as well also think that sideboarding is like the reason that best of three is like this really good format. Sideboarding is not in limited, is not the big deal. The big deal is that in game three or in game two, you know what your opponent's deck is. This hits any target, so they can kill my fledgling if they want. I don't care. Get it off the battlefield. Knowing what your opponent has arguably should make the game easier, right? Like knowing that your opponent has a Leyline Tyrant, and therefore we should side in Broken Wings, is very, very helpful. Knowing that we need to save Broken Wings for this card and not use it on, what is this deck? On something like the Kitesail Cleric. That's the only change. It shouldn't be that hard, but if you are brand new, and you only ever played best of one, you have probably picked up some very bad habits. And breaking those bad habits is going to be kind of the trick. Yeah, and you rarely even sideboard like more than one card. Hellion, sure. I mean, we're still in trouble. Yeah, we don't send this in. Well, so we would kill it, but then we would not have. We've already lost a Scythe Cat. We've already lost a Fledgling. We have one more Fledgling, one more Thingy, and a Felidar Retreat. We have a Raptor that's going to get through, presumably not against too many more flyers. And we're going to have a Stomper. I think we send this in. And if they really want, they can pay a red mana and kill my Sellsword. They don't kill it. Okay, then. And we get a 1/1 here. They don't know that I don't have a land. True, we could have magically played one out of nowhere. They still could have killed the Fledgling, though, because they would have put 1 mana into the Tyrant, and then when it dies, dealt damage to my 5/5 after having been dealt 4. I will be pulling a land back here, I think. Because we get our guaranteed bug and a 5/5. And if we draw a land, we can play it with the Root Grazer to get our Stomper to buy back the next two. If you don't draw a land, you get to play Stomper. If you don't, pull back. Yeah, that's true. All right, they realize they need to race here. Um, and I'll put a bug in front of the Hellion. No biggie. So we take 4. I mean, I do want to see what they play. Kazul's Fury me for 4? Okay. And then you're going to deal 3 to me? Okay. 780. Hey, they blew up. They blew up. I think they realized they were in a lot of trouble there. 2-0. 2-0 ain't too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right. Let's see if we can 3-0 this. This deck is kind of unreasonable. I mean, I think we can reasonably say based on that deck, that was probably a newer player, so you never know. It's not great, but I'll keep it. Let's put that over with the other 4/4s, or 4 CMCs. Hey, look, a 4th land. Yeah, Tyrant's a very neat design. Oh, that's a Thought Thief. Oh, my 2 drops. Oh. Bye, everybody. We're going to die. I don't believe we win this, but we definitely side in Broken Wings. I mean, theoretically, I too have cards. They're just not good enough. Yeah, we're not winning this one. Oof. We're up to 8 now. There goes our 1 removal spell. I guess we have whatchamacallit as well. Nahiri's Binding. I was supposed to be the unreasonable deck. I was the unreasonable one. Should have done that before combat. Would have got 2 more damage in. Blade, you would have been great with this this Rabid Bite here. We've almost got them back to 20. You don't get to see any more cards. No more cards for you. Broken Wings, get your ass in here. Smite. What does this count? This counts card types, right? We hit 5 card types in our yard. Sorcery, land, creature. One, we hit 4 card types. Sorcery, land, creature. Why am I so bad at reading? Oh, and +1 off of the Thought Thief. Zendikar? It's not a bad idea. Yeah, we can do a Zendikar. All right. Let's hope they don't go Thought Thief into whatchamacallit, I guess. Thought Thief into Nighthawk thing. Nighthawk rogue guy. Oh. I'm never mulling this. It's not great, but I'm never mulling it. I thought about Kite Sail, but Kite Sail requires just a little bit too much work. Mana and work and right time for everything to pull it off. Because there's always the chance they just don't go nutty on us here, right? Like this. That, decidedly, not the most nutty. If we find a forest, we are made. Screamieri, thanks for that follow. In for 1, there's the scavenger. Need that forest with our broken wings. And Magic the Gathering's mechanics say that we don't get to play. Oh. No, my forest. Well, at least we had our very fun, unreasonable games of Magic. I was glad to see the unreasonable games of Magic. Boop. Magic the Gathering, folks. Flawless game design. Oh! Oh, for 1 mana, too. Ow, ow, ow. Cool, a forest. I'm going to kill that. Ha. Got him. So that was 4 lands in our top 15. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Hurts losing to a Spare Supplies deck. Sebulan's been playing Spare Supplies a lot. I'm still not in any way interested in playing it. I'm going to click this button here. Well, 2-1. 2-1. Not too bad. Normally you would feel pretty good about it. Lose 500 gems thanks to the vagaries of Arena's pay schedule. But hey, I like that deck. That deck was super fun. I'm glad that we grabbed that third Horn Beetle because that made the deck sing. Anyways, thanks for watching YouTube. There will be more Zendikar Rising until it goes away, which is actually fairly soon. Like, share, subscribe, yada, yada.